guess it was a woman. Was she younger, older?
She was a little older. Actually, we hired her.
Oh, how long did she last? Wait, she's still there?
No, she's gone.
Restaurant Punk, what's up?
Restaurant Punk! Chi Restaurant Punk! What's up?
Restaurant
Punk!
Ooh, offensive.
Domenicato, Mr. Roboto.
Have you seen the
Yes. No, what's it?
Have you seen the video of the lady? I forget who it is. She's very white. And then it's like, I want to be ninja. And she's like, got like this whole, like, I want to be ninja.
Is she white or is she Asian? She's white.
White, yeah. And she's like, I
She want to be... No.
Chop, down to China. And she's performing it live in front of like all these people.
And she says, I
Like
want
it's
to
like
be...
her own private party that she's having. And there's in the like in like her guests, there's like one like Asian lady, and she's just like standing there like, what the fuck is this?
You're so ignorant.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Anyway, speaking of
Judging.
things speaking of bad news,
Oh, fuck.
red flags.
David,
What are they when you're hiring people, and what should you watch out for?
Oh, like, are we talking front house, back house, or
Anything.
everything?
Like when you're looking for help. Be it front of
I feel like
house,
there's a
back
list.
of house,
Man.
and then like people walk in the door. Like,
Well,
what are
does
those
it-
red flags that like peak like
What
right
does
away?
it? Okay, my biggest thing right away is like the piercings, and like they don't bother me.
Why?
No, as long as they're not over aggressive. Like the nose piercing, if it's like a little one, that doesn't bother me. If it's like a bull ring, as long as they can hide it, I'm okay. If as long as there's like not like crazy ones on their faces. Like I had a girl come to an interview once, and she had like I don't know what they call it. Where it's like their cheek is pierced. I'm like, that's a lot.
Right.
think so.
It's like a microdermal. So
Yeah,
it's like
now-
in the cheek. Yeah.
I
ahead.
hired her,
Front
but
of
it
the
just
house?
bothered. Yeah, it's front of the house, but she didn't work out because she had a really bad attitude.
Right.
She had a really bad piercing.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know if it's like the piercings come with the attitude. You know what I'm saying? Because I met
Right.
some people that have some piercings and they have really good attitudes.
Yeah, I don't think you can base it on their piercings.
Well,
their
but
attitude.
piercing and tattoos
Yeah.
is almost the same thing concept.
But if you ha-
their appearance, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about appearance.
Like, well, in this instance, he's like looking at that and he's like, that's a red flag for him. You know, like he sees people with like the piercings and like copious amounts of tattoos.
Yeah.
George, it's a red flag. I don't like really care as much like about that.
Visually, I don't.
Like if you have like, facial piercings and stuff,
That
like, or
doesn't
like
bother me.
septum piercings or things like that, I'm always like, look, it's service. You have to tuck it up. If you have like anything like really noticeable,
Septum pierce.
that's like when you have like the door knocker.
The bull ring, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So like that kind of stuff doesn't bother
What
me.
about like the what do they call it? You know when it's the ears,
the gauges?
The plugs.
yeah, no, it's like a giant hole in the ears.
Oh.
Yeah, it's,
I don't
it's
care.
gauges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what does that do? That's
See, it's interesting that you're. So we have the list of the topics, and actually that was one that I had added on a little while ago. And I was thinking not in terms of your physical aesthetic, right? I was thinking in terms of like the actual interview process as you're asking the questions, or certain like I'm thinking more in terms of things they might say or do that you're like,
oh, that
I
we
know-
can take that route too, though. I mean, it's
I know,
we're just
like
the start of it.
somebody comes for an interview and they smell like marijuana. Right away, I'm like, ooh, red
okay.
flag.
So if they come
I mean,
in,
if you look, you're coming for an interview and you smoked a joint or you smoked a bowl
clear,
like right
yes,
before you
right.
walked into your interview, or it's like your first day there and you like got high in the car, and then you're
Done.
gonna come to, you're
also,
gonna like come to
for me,
work
it's, like,
and you
late.
can smell it.
If you're on time, you're late. That's me.
Right.
Like if you come to, if say
Right.
the interview's at 10 o'clock,
Right.
you should be there at 9:45.
right,
Like that's where they,
Especially your first interview.
yeah. Like if you show up at 10 o'clock or 9, you're late.
what if the front of the house? I guess back of the house too, but say the front of the house because
Right.
that the customers see them, and they have like under every fingernail like dirt.
Ooh, like they're dirty.
I never like paid attention to that though. Now I've
Do
had
you think you
people
should?
like,
Do you think a customer would notice that? Because
Now if they're
I'm thinking,
serving,
bet you don't want your
now
hands.
if you're gonna like if
No,
you're gonna
I'm-
come
I'm-
to be a server and you have like these fucking long ass like claws, I'm gonna be like, okay, cool.
not even not the long,
I don't know if
not the long. I'm talking about the short,
Yeah.
short nails. Doesn't matter, but you have
Yeah.
dirt. You visually have
Yeah.
dirt under every nail, so that shows me your hygiene is questionable. And now you're serving someone food.
So just in general,
well, what if it's a bus? What if it's like a bus person? Is that a problem then?
I don't know. Is it like although they're just cleaning up dirty shit, right? Basically, but they
think-
do place. They could.
No, they
They
are
could
touching
be.
clean.
They
so-
are. Resetting the table.
right?
So that's something.
I feel like it depends too. Like like
What?
who, like walks through. Like I feel like it depends on like what job like you're hiring for,
Well, that's
and
what
like
I'm
who
saying,
walks
for the
in
house.
through
That
the
wouldn't
door.
bother you? You don't think it's a problem?
Like, well, like 'cause in an interview process before, like I had like a server looking for a job. They came in and they were exceptionally like casual in like the stuff that they were wearing, and I was like, this is how like I was like
Yeah.
like they were wearing
Like a
like,
short
the short.
t-shirt?
It was like the shorts were like up their ass, and it's like they just
Wow.
kind of like looked like generally like
Wait,
floppy.
was she hot?
No.
Okay.
They were just like generally like
Yeah.
floppy, you know,
Yeah.
looking
The butt
kind of.
cheeks or the shorts?
All of it. You know, it's just like generally like, you know,
Yeah.
like floppy looking. And I was just like, you know, like that's what you're gonna wear to like something that like,
No, that's
you know what I mean? Like we
that's
called
a
you
red
to come
flag
in
right
here,
there.
Yeah.
And you wear like that kind of stuff to like come in. Like that's your like outside clothes. I'm
Yeah.
not judging you for what you wear outside of the
Right.
restaurant.
Yeah.
But like this is how I'm gonna perceive you for the first time.
Right.
And this is like the kind of clothes that you're just gonna like come in
Right.
like off the street on, trying to get a professional job where you're front facing for like a restaurant. Especially when you're hiring like front of house staff.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the face of
Well, that's why I said it comes
the
down to
people that are gonna be
appearance.
there.
That's what I said.
Well,
know?
to me, yes, it's appearance, but it's also the whole mindset that you don't give a fuck,
Yeah.
right? Because you want to make a good impression, right, to the place that you want to get a job at. So if you don't want to make a good impression to your boss, what makes me think that you're going to want to make a good impression to your guests if you're front of the house?
Right.
So that's how I would see it. It's just like little things like that, like your attitude and what I think you think is important.
Now, was that person I guess it was a woman. Was she younger, older?
She's a little older. Actually, we hired her.
Oh, how long did she last? Wait, she's still there? Oh, no.
She's gone.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
We were desperate. No, I'm just kidding. Needed help. Fuck. But I mean, you know, like things.
Well, that's
to
well, okay.
consider.
Well, but see, like
you
when
know, you learn
when
as you go.
but you also like
Well,
when
you
you're
know.
at desperate time right now, like you have to hire whatever you can. I always say hire as much as you can, and then just wait off the
Okay,
the
so
bad
let's
ones.
say you're hiring a server. Do you try to pay attention to their mannerisms and how they speak?
Look.
As far as them being too timid to work front of the house.
Look, here's the
What
thing.
if
Like,
Right.
not anyone can work front of the house? It's a stressful job.
Look, here's the thing about it being a red flag. Red flag doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to get the job. Just because you're a red flag doesn't mean
This is how good you're gonna do your
doesn't
job.
mean that you're not going to get hired. Yeah, it just depends on how what is like your longevity in the process, or
Oh, how
you know,
long I can use you for? Is what
Yeah.
you're saying?
No, not how long you can. Not that, but I mean, like, how long are you going to actually be able to like stay around? Because like sometimes you judge people, like sometimes you might judge, and like your judgment's wrong. Like I've had instances
Yeah.
where like I've sat there and like I've thought I've been like, nah, like that's not, you know, like I don't think like I don't really know if I want that person here.
Well, if I
and then
can-
they come
yeah.
out and they end up actually being like
A decent-
you know, like a phenomenal like employee or something like that, and you're like, oh wow, like that just like. You know, like I said no in my mind. Like I've kind of like made up like
Right.
my own like mind based upon like our first interaction, and it's actually turned out to be like you're like a great employee. You know what I mean? But I've
Yeah.
also like been misdirected too, where I've thought like somebody was great. You know, first impression, then like they're there, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Barack, right?
No.
Well, if
I
if
like
I
rock.
think there's someone who is like extra schmoozy, then I'm like, I don't
Trying
know.
too hard.
Right.
Yeah, there's
It's like the
something.
bullshit alert
Yeah.
goes
Yeah, 'cause
off.
I
now,
can't-
exactly. Because now, are you the professional bullshitter? That's what
Yeah,
you
that's what
go
they are.
through.
That's what they- if
and
they're
that makes
pro-
me question whether or not you're gonna steal. So then,
Well, I like sometimes too, like when you know there's people that like maybe like other people might not hire, or like sometimes I'll see
Yes.
like people and I'm like, you know, I don't really know like how many other people would like give you a chance, and it's not like you're getting like the pity hire.
Take a chance on.
But like
me.
sometimes I'm like, let me see, like you know, I'm like, you know, like let's do
Well, you
it.
can put them start
I'm all
somewhere
about-
else and then
yeah.
work their way up. You know
I'm
what
all
I'm
about
saying?
the underdog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
because you're
but
short.
if you're like, but if you're like a know-it-all, if you're a know-it-all, or you're
Right.
someone who is going to be domineering in the sense of you're trying to get over on people so you can get what you want. If I
Right.
get that feeling, that's a red flag for me. Now, one time, it wasn't in the restaurant business. I was like 28, and I worked for a retailer, and we were hiring seasonally for the Christmas season because I worked in merchandise, like displays.
Yeah.
So we had to put up the Christmas displays, and this is like years ago. And I heard this guy, it sounds terrible, and he told me like, you know, he wanted to be a commercial fisherman. And I, being young and just ignorant, I'm like, I don't know, this is gonna work out. I hired him.
Right.
But I told my boss, I'm like, he must be a commercial fisherman. I didn't even know what one was. So I was ignorant because I didn't even know, right?
Right.
But I thought that was questionable. But then I'm like, fuck it. Let me just hire him. And he was actually a really good worker. But he didn't
How long do you last for?
The whole season, it was a season, just for the season. Yeah, and he lasted a while, and I didn't need him to be that creative, but it was just funny how I totally was judging him
Because
and thought
he was a
about
fisherman?
not hiring him because I don't know if he was a commercial fisherman or is this his dream? Because I'm sure that I didn't ask him that. That's not something I would ask someone.
Yeah,
What's your dream?
Yanni told Nico to fire me because I was a dancer.
Yeah, I remember.
That's right.
I remember hearing about that.
He's like, I give her that fairy guy. I kind of like him. He dances too much.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's something that he judges without somebody knowing their background because, I don't know, it's always something different.
Big red flag for me is like the jumping around in jobs. Like if you come in and then like I'm like, okay, like where'd you work before? And then you rattle off like 5 different places. I mean, I'm like, how long? Like what? And they're like, oh, it's just like last year. And I'm like,
no,
okay.
yeah, that is huge.
If it's like every 3 months you have a new job or whatnot, or
it doesn't really show like any like.
What if they
longevity.
do you
talk shit about their previous employers? That's an automatic red flag for me.
Yeah, I mean,
Even if it's true.
I feel like you should always, especially like when you're meeting new people or like you're moving into a different environment, you should always have some kind of decorum, regardless of like whatever
happened doesn't matter. You just go
beforehand.
forward. Yeah, don't worry about
You know what
it
I mean?
right away.
Okay, fine. Like you get in, you know, you're obviously going to meet people if you want to talk shit about your previous employer. Like once you get to know your staff members or whatever,
Don't come in with that
whatever.
hot
But
take.
don't come in with that. Yeah, you know, don't come in with that attitude. You know, for like the interview and be like, you know, like the last guy or like whatever. Like that's just, you know.
Well, if
it's
you
just not-
come in
not great.
and you basically tried to tell me a story about how you got fucked over in some way by your previous employer, whatever, like without me even asking you, and that's just your first go-to, like to me,
Right.
I question, are you that person who's always a victim? Are you causing the problems
are, though.
and then
That's
you're also
why-
a victim?
that's-
That's what I think about. Are you that personality?
The sob stories too at the door or like in the interview is like always like another kinda like a weird red flag. Like if you're just coming in and you're like trauma dumping on me.
Yes. Yeah.
Like right
Trauma
out
dumping.
like trauma dumping like right out of the door. I'm kind of like, okay, yeah, wow.
God.
I'm like, what is the next couple fucking months gonna be like? here?
Right. What if they come in immediately and start telling you they need all these days off? Would you automatically not hire them or?
So I've been
mean-
in like situations where it's like somebody's like come and they've told you like from the beginning, like, hey, listen, you know, I already have like this, and this planned. Like this is pre-planned before this job. You know, and if you hire them, like you should have enough sense as the employer, and if you think that other than the time that they're requesting off,
Yeah,
the time
you
they already have like, you know, scheduled out of their day, like you should have enough respect for that. If you think that they're
I think that's fair,
you know,
yeah.
a respectable candidate for what it is that you're looking for, like you should be like, you know, accommodating for that. There's no reason not
Yeah.
to.
But
you know?
yes.
Especially with, I
If you
mean, it
think
depends
it's
on what they're
legit.
doing as well too.
But what
But
if you
now-
don't think it's legit? What do you think? You know?
I mean, look, I mean, if you're job, I mean, if you come and you're like, hey, listen, you know, I do have like a hiking trip. I do this every year. This is like
Fair.
where we go. You know, and then I have like my mom's birthday and I'm supposed to go down to Florida for like a week, you know, and it's in the middle of July. I know that that's a really bad time. I understand that, but I already bought the plane tickets.
Yeah, that's
you know, it's
fair.
like my mom, whatever. You know, it depends on how you approach it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I think it's fine. Like if you're going to come with,
yeah.
you know.
I know, but there's some people, you know, there's so
Now, if you're going to sit there and tell me, well, I'm off on the first Friday, and then the second, like 2 weeks from
That's
then,
where
I
it's a
have
little
like my
sketchy,
picnic,
yeah.
and then I'm going away for 2 weeks because I'm going to the Bahamas to meet up with my
Right.
girlfriends, and then I'm going back here, and then I'm going to Canada for a month. Like then it's like, okay, wait, what?
Well, actually,
You know, what are we doing?
No, if you went off in the first week of job, then no, you have to.
I don't think that's terrible. I don't think that's terrible. But if once you start, if there's always some shit going on, or you need to pick up your kid early, which obviously can happen, but if it's a constant, there's always something, whether it's kids or not, it doesn't even matter. Then I'm like, ooh, that you have.
Sometimes it's hard too because I hired somebody before. I think it was a cat. I know that that's your foot, but I don't know what it was.
Kitty, kitty.
Come on, kitty, come get the treats. Meow meow.
You put snacks in your pocket.
Yeah, my snacks. Anyway,
That's why you didn't need snacks when I asked you. I'm like, you need more snacks? You're like, no, I'm good.
I got my pocket snacks, my pocket.
Anyway, so you hired somebody. What is happening?
Yeah. Well, I hired somebody before. It was like literally, they were supposed to work. I think it was like Friday or something to come in, or like Thursday. Come in Thursday. And before like they come, they're like, hey, listen, you know, I had this issue. I got, you know, attacked by a cat. And I was
sorry.
like, okay, you got attacked by a cat. They're like, yeah, my arm is like all fucked up. I don't know if I can work right now. I'll come in if you want me to. And I was like, all right, you nurse your cat attack, and then we'll see it next week. And then they came in
Is this
next
true story?
week. Yeah,
Yes.
this is true. But they did come in, and then they had like an arm brace, and it's like I actually saw like this cat like attack because it's like the cat like bit through like
Yeah.
the thing and like bit into like the tendon or some shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Whatever, fine. So you got attacked by a cat. The next week, it was like they were supposed to be there, and then it's like they fucked their leg up skateboarding or something, and they came in with like a boot.
One of those people.
Yeah, it happened. Actually, they've been with me for a long time now.
Yeah, insane.
Oh, still there?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still with me. Yeah, but
Is
the
it
first
Barack?
no,
Yeah.
but the first couple days was a little rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember because that's when I had started. I'm like, oh wow, yeah, I was like, that's suspicious.
I was like,
Don't be
okay, you got a broken leg, you got
suspicious,
cat
don't be
scratch
suspicious.
fever. You know,
You hired some weird people.
Well, let me
man.
ask you a question. Have you ever not wanted to hire someone, but hired them because you didn't have one and knowing that you're probably going to get rid of them like after the
Always.
season? Yeah. Oh.
So like I said, when I'm in this, if it's like a brand new restaurant, or if it's like, you're going into the summertime and you need to hire that summer staff, I always say it's better to be prepared than scared.
Yeah.
So hire as many people you can, just so you can weasel out the terrible ones.
yeah.
That's what I mean. That's like when I opened up Brian, I hired 24 servers,
Oh my God.
and then by the first 3 weeks, we were down to like 17.
Right.
And then by the first month and a half, we were down to like 15, and we're like, all right, we got a staff there.
Right.
You don't know who's going to turn out, and you don't know who's going to be the best and whatnot, and who you going to vibe with.
Right.
Yeah, true.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Jess, I love Jess is a phenomenal server, but she just didn't work with my vibe over at Brian. But she's amazing over at Petunia George's. So that's why I wanted to shift over there. But that's why I feel like I'm different than from you or you. So it's about your vibe and how you want to work with your servers. So
yeah.
But like sometimes I've like given, you know, like there's been like I've hired people that I'm like I needed staff. You know, there was times when like I needed staff, and I've hired people that, you know, I wasn't too keen on hiring, but at the same time I was like, well, you know, they deserve a chance too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just because it's like I'm not necessarily like, you know, too keen on this person, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to be able to perform, you know, to a certain task. Oh, that's only going to come out, you know, in the process. Like you're only going to find out when it's time. Like
Right.
if you're in the kitchen or if you're on the floor in the front, then you're going to see.
then you'll know what.
You know, then you'll know like right away. And
Yeah.
you'll be like, okay, you know, look, we'll try it 1-2 times. It doesn't work. You know, I'm sorry, you know. But I always try, like, when I do bring people in, I always like to let people know, too, that it's like, you know, we'll come in, try it out
Like
first.
a
I always say that.
Trial period.
A trial period.
That's fair, yeah.
I always
A
say, like,
90-day
from the-
trial period?
Well, I always say, too, I was like, look, come in, hang out like the weekend, even if you just like hang out and watch and see how you feel about it.
Right.
Because I'll look at you back there and I'll see you back there and I'll know just by looking at you in the space how you feel or whether or not I think it's going to jive.
Yeah.
Sometimes I know it's not working and I'll just be like, all right, let me throw like another like week or two at it and see what happens. But you know, sometimes you have to just like let it jive for a minute too to see like what's going to happen. But I always like to bring somebody in and I pay them. I'm
Yeah.
like, look, I'll pay you, you know, to be here for your time because you are here.
Yeah.
But see how you feel about it. This isn't your hired.
like that. I
This
like
is
that
like
idea,
come
yeah.
in, try it out.
Yeah.
Let's see how you fit in the environment. You know, because it's not for everybody. Not
Right.
everybody not everybody wants to do this. Not everybody can do this.
It used to be
You know,
over
or
at-
maybe you just don't like the space. You
Yeah.
know, that's fucking fine too.
Right.
At
nothing wrong with
Beachfront,
that.
George's Beachfront, before when you got hired, if you wanted to be a server, you had a bus for the first like 2 weeks before you even got to even touch a table, because you to see how if it worked out, if you can work that because the way they worked over there, because it was so fast and small.
Yeah.
So it's always
I
different to see what
think
people
it's a
say.
good thing to have them bus first because also it helps you to appreciate your busser when you become a server. No, you don't, you don't care?
I agree with you. No, I agree. But
know, I just
sometimes,
feel-
but also depends on like. I'm not going to bring you in to be a busser to start with because you're experienced. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think much younger
younger
generation
Yeah.
should
that's younger,
yes
to come in try
because
this first.
and that's what it should be. I mean, even if you're like 21, 22, you should still bust this just to see how this restaurant works because everyone is different from everybody else. Every owner is different. Every manager is different. Every floor plan is different. Every
Yeah.
kitchen is different, and every server is different. So I really think you should always come in and before you even touch table, just bust, learn how to food run, or learn the,
Get a feel for the space.
and that's it. And then you'll know if you like the environment or not, because that's
Right.
what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Because you can hire some shitty people, but if it ends up being a good
the
environment,
environment might work out.
and
for them.
that's what I said, it might
You know
work
what I mean?
out.
And they
Yeah.
might actually like flourish in that environment, you know? So
Yeah.
you never really know exactly,
Yeah.
100% until like they're actually in the door, you know? And sometimes too, like, it's got to mesh with everybody else, you know, it's on your team. You know, you might be a great employee, but if it's just not, like if
Yep.
you're not meshing right, you know, with everybody else, then, you know, it's like, what are you going to do?
Listen,
you know, how, you know,
there's a server
hard.
at Brine who's, I believe he's one of the best servers I ever met, but nobody can work with him as
Wow.
a server because he just is.
Is it worth it?
Right now, it's not worth it anymore because it's
Interesting.
exhausting.
Yeah.
It's exhausting. He just doesn't support. He says he support my business, but he doesn't. He just does what he wants.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's better that the click that not the click I have, but the vibe that I have with the servers already, with him outside of it, that's happy. Are they experienced as he is? No, but they're getting the job done for me.
I think sometimes people need to realize that you could be very experienced and very good at your job, right? But if you can't work in that environment, or you're not working as a team, whatever the reason may be, then you're not as useful as you think you are.
Well, it's just like, it's not that. It's just, you're not going to get anything out of the environment. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's reciprocatory because it's just not going to work out for, either party, involved. And it's hard sometimes, when those kinds of situations happen. I've been in places too where I'm like, this isn't for me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I've worked jobs where I'm like, this is not the environment that I want to be in. I've done like other restaurant jobs and stuff too, just even like helping people out. And, there's been times when like I've, like walked into a new place, like tried it out for a couple days and I'm just like, I can't work here.
I did
just
that.
because it's
I've
like,
done that.
I felt like the staff and it's like, like, hey, I'm sure they're nice people. But it's just not.
It's not me.
This isn't like the environment that I can like work in. I can't work like this. You know what I mean? Or like to feel like that. So.
At least you recognized and walked away, then try to stick it out.
Well, it's like you don't want to waste. I don't want to waste their time. I don't want to waste my time.
Right.
And
you
try
gotta
to like
find
be in an
something.
environment that
Yeah.
I know that I don't think that it's going to work.
Yeah.
And it's not to say like that place was unprofessional or like it wasn't run good. I just didn't think that I was a good fit there. You know, and that happens sometimes too. And being able to acknowledge that.
Nice.
So, but
Right.
red flags, better watch for him.
Yeah.
If a
Red
guy's got
flags.
goldfish in his pocket, don't hire him. Or do hire him because he's smart, because he's got snacks. I've got snacks for everyone.
Snacks for you. Snacks for you.
Restaurant Punk.
Restaurant Punk!
Ow.
What out? I like fishes because they're so delicious.
My
fish?
nephew,
on,
when he was younger, he says to me,
Who was it?
What you got? What do you want?